Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Basic Beginner Budgets. And today we're going to talk about ways to save money. It's going to be one of our 5 ways to save, and it's going to be Ways to Save Wednesdays, is how we're going to do it. These days, everything's so outrageous, and everybody's trying to look for ways to save. And some of these are pretty common. You've probably heard them before, but it's more than just hearing them, it's actually doing them. The first one is to compare prices, whether it's groceries, furniture, cars, small electronics. You have to compare those prices anymore so you can get the best price out there. And also, when you compare, if you find one like a store that has what you want, but one store has it at a lower price and it's closer to you, check and see if they do price matching. That's another way to save with comparing prices. There's one person on YouTube. She has part of her channel is she compares her 3 common grocery store prices and decides where she's going to shop. She has a large family. They're a 1-income family, and this works for her very well. But comparing prices, it takes a little time, a little effort. But nowadays you can just go online and pull up the store's flyer or circular or sales ad, and then that way you can compare through each. Like I said, it takes a little time. That's better than the old way when you had to go to the store and get the sales ad, bring it home, compare, and it just took a lot longer. So nowadays technology has helped with so much stuff. But it does help to compare prices. It just takes a little time. And then the next thing is generic versus brand name. Now, generic stuff, most of it is just as good as the brand name. My husband will argue with you about that. He prefers brand name no matter what it is. Me, I go with the generic if I can. Now, there are some things that I will not eat in generic. Some of it is, I'm very picky about my cheeses. Cereal, the generic ones, they're okay. And if you have a large family or young children, to me, they just get mushier a lot quicker. And I don't like mushy cereal. But yeah, so, test it out. You may like the generic, you may not. If you don't, then don't get it again. If you do, then it's going to save you a few pennies. And every penny counts these days. And then the third way is the digital apps. Most stores have digital apps for their stores. The store that I use this the most in my area is Kroger. And there's several things I do with my digital apps. I download coupons. A lot of times they have a coupon on Fridays that whatever you spend in the store, you get 4 times the fuel points, and that adds up, especially if you're spending $100. If you make it your shopping day, you spend $100, then that will give you 400 fuel points, which in turn gives you 40 cents off 40 cents off each gallon of gas. So it can save, and I use my fuel points regularly. A lot of times people also don't know on the fuel points that say it's the end of May and it's getting ready to flip over to June. You can still use those May fuel points in June. Just check with the lady at the register and ask her how much you have left over from the previous month. Now, they don't tell you that up front, but they're there and you can use them. And if it saves money, hey, you can't argue with that. And all the stores have digital apps, or at least most of them. I mean, even the Dollar General store has a digital app. Myers, Ollie's, I'm trying to think, Walmart. Like I said, just check them out for your local stores, especially if it's a store that you shop at often. And then also, The next thing is shopping off season. A lot of times I do this in clothing, and it's the end of August. The stores have already got all the summer stuff marked down, although in our area it's still very hot. So I will buy that. The only time this gets a little tricky is if you have small kids, because they outgrow everything so quickly. But as an adult, you can shop off season and save a lot of money. You can also do that with holiday decor. Like the day after Christmas, you go, and usually stores have stuff at least 50%, sometimes 75% off. And then now you're not going to use it that particular Christmas year, but you'll use it the next year. You just put it up. A lot of times you can get small Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers, really cheap for the next year. And especially if you're a large family. My family really just consists of me, my husband, and my adult daughter. Well, we have 2 other adult children, but they live out of state. And then a couple of grandkids also that live out of state. So it's a little bit more trickier having to ship and everything. But shopping off season can save you lots of money. And then the other thing is to shop the clearance rack. I do that all the time. Like, I may go shop at Macy's, but I just shop the clearance rack. There's a local store here called Cato's Fashion, and there's several throughout the U.S. Now, if you find something on their clearance rack and you don't, it's not your size, you can have them order it for you. You may have to wait a couple of weeks, but they will order it at the clearance price. So you're still getting the same price for it. You just have to wait a little bit. I love clearance racks. And I even shop, like our local Kroger's has a clearance section. Now you have to watch the dates and stuff on everything. But anywhere I can shop clearance, I do, because you will save money. But again, on food items, certain ones, you definitely have to watch the dates. But this is just a quick 5 ways to save video. Now our next 5 ways to save is going to be on medical costs. Another thing that is skyrocketing out the door. It's horrible for medical costs these days. But thank you for joining in and watching the video. And if you like it, subscribe. And if you would, please hit like. And you all be kind and have a good week. And I will see you in the next video.